This is just a slightly more in-depth video on this Electronics Goldmine G9614 lamp driver board that I showed a bit in my more recent, as I filmed this, jumbo surprise box video, which may or may not be public by the time reviewing this. And it's basically, it looks to be a simple blocking oscillator type DC fluorescent ballast, just one transistor, a transformer, and a couple of passives. There's this capacitor and a variable resistor, which seem to form part of the oscillator. It's probably just a tuning thing based on the characteristics of the transistor, transformer, etc. So don't adjust that. The input connections are these two trimmed wires, which originally had a black insulation and red insulation. So that's the relative positive and relative negative, most likely the 12-volt hot and the neutral, unless you're using a negative ground system or a positive ground system for whatever reason. And then these two, which have white insulation, are the terminals that go out to the lamp. Simple push button to turn the thing on, and it turns on for about a minute. I timed it as 59 seconds, and there's also a red LED under the button that lights up just to say that the thing is on. Most likely because in the original application, because it says skincare to December 4th, 1982, and also says it on the board there for DEC 92. Which is also interesting, this is handwritten, and judging by the curvy traces, this is probably a tape board, and it's interesting to see a tape board this recent, but then again, this is probably some kind of a really budget product, and there's the connections for the LED under the button. The timer circuit looks to be just a CD4538 based circuit, a simple CMOS logic, and that controls the electricity supply to this blocking oscillator, as well as the LED through this transistor. It's H1061, and judging by the Hitachi mark on it, which may or not, there's a Hitachi mark right there, but it's kind of hard to see because of the some kind of coating applied to the board, some kind of really cheap conformal coating. That's probably a 2SH1061. That combined with this transistor there, which is probably, these are SS8050s, forms a discretely implemented Darlington transistor, with this resistor being the current limiter for this one, which is somewhat interesting to see. That just supplies the electricity to the blocking oscillator and controls it. And when this button is pressed, it turns this transistor on, turns on the blocking oscillator, and shuts it off about a minute later. One thing, because this does drive the tube with a effectively DC, one thing I want to experiment with is experimenting with the cathode, and applying or building a circuit which puts, say, a couple tens of milliamperes through the cathode just to heat it, because even just using it once, there is kind of a bit of a darkening on the end of this lamp. This is an F6T5, one that I pulled out of, I think, a dead 12-volt camping lantern I had. I actually still have one. Let's see if I can get it working again. But rigging this up so that it does heat the cathode, which will help greatly extend the lamp life. And probably just hooking up an additional transistor to this connection, which is the electricity supply. Probably something like a just hook a power fed up to that. Because this lamp output is electrically isolated, as far as I know, I am going to verify that. But what I'll do is hook up an additional transistor, most likely a FET, just for ease of driving. That it is going to be an active low, or how do I describe this? it's going to be a neutral side switch that then connects to one of the two lamp terminal electrodes, or one of the ends of the electrode. Then the other end of the electrode will be connected to 12 volts through something like a probably something like a 1 watt 12 volt incandescent lamp or something. I'll test this just to see how well it performs, or what an ideal drive current would be, but I'd imagine probably on the order of maybe 100 milliamperes or so. Because the incandescent lamp has the advantage of it actually produces some light instead of something like a power resistor. Obviously, for something like this, which is going to be most likely, I'm going to build an emergency light that's manually actuated, where you just push the button and it turns the lamp on for about a minute while you have time to grab flashlights or turn on more permanent lights. Just a bit of an idea as an experiment for this thing. And knock on wood, if they still have any in stock next order, I will get more.